These 10 provinces are in Canada, and if any person is applying for unskilled worker to PR, the person can work in all these provinces, any job they can go. But if any PNP program, if they are applying, they have to work in only that. Suppose if you are applying for Alberta PNP, the person has to work only in Alberta for minimum 2 years, then they can migrate to any other place. 3 territories are there, that is Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut. These 3 territories are generally a different government procedures will be having, they'll have, and general PR person cannot travel all these places. They can, once they become the citizen, they can travel. Only the provinces that person can work. Now the question comes, what exactly permanent residency means? Permanent residency, the name is clearly explaining you that it is a permission to reside in Canada permanently. So permanent residency in Canada means it is a status given by a Canadian government to a particular person to live and work in Canada, in the particular Canada place, and without any time limits. Specific timelines are not there. And the first major benefit of the PR is, after certain period, the permanent resident holders can apply for the Canadian citizenship. So they can have all the rights of to become a citizen of the Canada. Now, benefits of PR visa. So now the benefits are, you can live and work anywhere in Canada. You can live and work anywhere in Canada, and that is, as I said, all provinces are welcome to that person. Second one is, you can get access to universal health care and social services. This point you should understand properly, that they can get all the healthcare benefits like citizens in Canada, and also the social services. I'll explain you this point of social services and social benefits here. At present, the present situation is the best example we can take. And because of COVID-19, if any person is suffering with any problems, any financial problems or jobless problems, Canadian government is coming forward and they are doing certain financial help to that particular person. So this type of help will be available for those permanent residents. So whatever the government benefits are giving, PR holders are able to get all these benefits from the government. Third point is, you can sponsor your spouse and children. Suppose if any person is going on PR to Canada as a single, and after that if they get married, they can sponsor. They have all the rights to sponsor their spouse and children, and they can get them to country. Fourth point, you can become a Canadian citizen. This is the most important point. Using this PR, the person can opt for applying for a citizenship in Canada. What happened? Now, this PR cannot be taken away from you. This point I have to explain to you, that PR visa cannot be removed from any person until unless they involve any crime or any any rule. If they break, the PR will be removed. But the thing is, normally PR option cannot be removed. PR visa or PR facility cannot be taken away from any person once it is granted. Now, the question is, what is the difference between Canada permanent residency and the citizenship? As I told you, Canada PR persons, that is PR holders, can avail all the benefits like citizens of the Canada, like social benefits and also the healthcare benefits, all the things. But there are certain things which PR persons cannot do. That is, the permanent residents cannot vote in federal elections. That means they cannot participate in the elections of Canadian government. They cannot vote. Run for a federal office. That is, you cannot run a party office or any political offices there. Cannot hold Canadian passports. The PR persons will not get any passport. They will be getting only a PR card. The fourth one is they cannot hold some jobs which need a high level security clearance like Navy, Army jobs and some type of air, that is aerospace, aeronautical, and all these types of jobs are not given to permanent residents in only citizens can apply to those jobs. Now this is permanent resident card. This permanent resident card is a identity card given to a person once they get a PR. Once you get the PR visa, after landing in Canada, this card will be issued to you, which is a social identification of the person. So this card will be issued by a Department of the Citizenship in Canada, and this card was started since 2002. Previously it was not there. Since 2002 they started, and this card will expire every 5 years, and the person has to renew it every 5 years until they get the citizenship. Now, as we discussed, the Canada PR applications can be accepted all over the world, and also including Canadian people also. That is, the people, those who are staying in Canada also can apply for PR. But the applications which are coming out of Canada will be called as outland applications. So to process these type of outland applications, Canada government started a process called Express Entry in January 2015. Before 2015 also PR process was there. It was a common process and there is no such type of Express Entry. That time the PR process used to take 3 to 4 years for each person. But once the Express Entry process introduced, the process timeline was a little bit reduced. Now, this Express Entry is completely an online system. So, run by IRCC. So, there is no need to do any paperwork or something. The complete process run through online system for the federal, skilled workers. And these jobs, these skilled workers will be chosen into account according to their skills. And also Canadian government will take the decision whether to give the visa or not, but after making a decision that how far these people will be helpful to that particular country or how they will help the economy to grow in Canada. So based on this, the skilled jobs will be announced every year. Every year the demanded jobs will be announced by Canadian government so that the skilled workers can apply. Now, what is Express Entry system? This Express Entry system, as we said, it is a complete online application process for the skilled workers, but still the skilled workers also categorized as 3 types of skilled workers. The first one is Canadian experience class. This is particularly those persons, those who are working in Canada with Canadian experience. Second one is Federal Skilled Trades Program, that is generally called as FSTP. So FSTP is generally a skilled trade workers with a minimum of 2 to 5 years of experience. That is, a particular technically skilled persons can opt under FSDP, and the general normal express entry process we apply is FSWP, that is Federal Skilled Worker Program. Under this program, almost all the jobs will be listed and we can apply through this, because the best point is here only if the person is having 1 year experience also, that person is eligible to apply under FSWP. Now, how to check the eligibility? So, if you want to apply for a Canada PR, how to check the eligibility, whether you are eligible or not? Here, the eligibility will be generally calculated on some points. The first important one is the age. See, for apply to a Canada PR, the person should have minimum age of 24 and maximum of 45. More than 45 year age person may get a hardly get the PR. Okay, and now the bachelor degree is the client should have a minimum graduation of a minimum bachelor degree. You may ask a question that if bachelor degree is not there, if only high school or 12th class, will they are eligible or not? Yes, they are eligible, but based on certain conditions. Now, the third point is experience. Minimum 2 years of work experience will be listed here, but with 1 year experience also, you will be getting points here, but less points. The fourth one is language skills. So because Canada is an English speaking country, the applicant has to prove his English proficiency through reading, writing, listening and speaking the language. So through IELTS or TOEFL or any exam is accepted, but at present situation, only IELTS will be given preference. So based on all these points, the person has to get minimum of 67 points out of 100 points to get to qualify to apply for a Canada Express Entry profile. Now, the eligibility criteria. So, how the 67 points will be allotted? The first one comes is age. As I told you, the first one is only age. So if the age is 18 to 35, even though they mention 18 years, why they are mentioning 18 years is even intermediate candidate is also eligible to apply for PR, but as I told you, based on certain conditions. Because of that, even 18 years is also mentioned in the age factor. So 18 to 35, whoever is there, they will be having a fixed points of 12 points on out of 12. That is 12 out of 12 they will get. But after 36 years till 47 years, the points will be reducing. That is 36 years person will get 11, 37 years person will get 10, like that. Based on the age till 47, they will be getting only one by one. Then you have to reduce. But after 47, the points on age will be 0. Now, the next one is education. The education will give some more points. The maximum points you will get on this education is 25 points. Based on the qualification of the particular person, the points will be given. These points will be given only once the qualification is declared by the Canadian government, whether it is equivalent to Canadian degree or not. That means any foreign qualification should be declared as the Canadian qualification. So this education equivalency of Canadian qualification is mandatory. So if a person is having a doctorate, they'll get 25 points. If a master's or a professional degree means not only master's, a doctor or any CA or something, they will get 23 points. 2 or more post-secondary degrees. That is, if any person is having double degrees, then they will get 22 points. Only 1 3-year degree after the secondary education, 21 points. Like that, any trade certificate, it is 2 years diploma, then 19. Like that, secondary school certificate also are giving 5 points. That is, as I told you, any intermediate client will get 5 points on the education. Now, the third one is experience. So the experience, if the person is having 1 year experience, they will get 9 points. As I told, this is the minimum threshold required to apply, and based on the experience, the points will be given. The maximum is 15. If the person is having more than 6 years, they will get straight away the 15 points. But here, the experience should be an NOC skill levels OAB, that is 0 AB, mentioned in the NOC list of Canada. I'll explain you the NOC skills. So under the job, whatever you are mentioning should be registered in this NOC level. Now the language ability, we are coming to the IELTS part. So once the IELTS score is declared, that we have to calculate under the CLB levels, that is Canadian language levels, and we have to see what is the score the person is getting. The maximum is 28, that is on 4,777 each. So here what happens is, second language is if the person is having a second language as English, that is first language English means the English speaking countries, second language English means all the other countries which are coming under non-speaking English countries will come under second language countries. So all the abilities under CLB, the persons are going to get 24 points in this IELTS score. Next one is arranged employment in Canada. This is hardly, generally our people will not get points on this, because this is the person, if they have an employment already available in Canada, those people directly will get 10 points. So here generally those who are applying from India will not get these points. But if any person is there, working there, they went for studies, they are working, or went on work visa working, those persons will be having a Canadian experience, or already if they have any job, they will get the 10 points straight away. Next, adaptability. Adaptability is 10 points will be given to that. That is, if the person is married, or any the spouse is having qualified, or if the person is giving spouse is giving IELTS, if the spouse produce official language skills, then they will get more points, so the points will increase. If a person is unmarried, adaptability will be 0 for that particular person. Now these are the CLB levels, that is IELTS levels. Based on the IELTS scores of a particular person in all bands, the CLB level will be declared. If IELTS 7.5, if any person is getting 7, 7, 8 and 7, that is CLB 9. And based on the last screen, CLB 9, you will be having the CLB 9 means the points are 6, means 4, 6 are 24 the person is getting. Like that, based on the IELTS band-wise score, the CLB level will be declared. So these are all calculations done by us. No need to worry for you. This is only an explanation. No need to calculate. The person, those who want to apply for PR, has to get a required score. Points and all will be calculated by us. But this is only an explanation. Now, this is the NOC system. That is, as I told you, the employment in Canada are basically qualified as National Occupation List. There are 4 types of skill types are there. Skill type 0. 0 level or O level will be called as management job. That is, higher level jobs will be coming under this type of category. Skill level A will be coming as professional jobs like doctors, dentists, architects, and CAs. All these people will come under skill level A. And skill level B are technical jobs, chefs, plumbers, electricians with a diploma. Skill level C are generally called as trainings. Generally, they will be, the trainees will come under this particular group, and hotel management jobs like food and beverage servers, all these people will come under skill level C. Now, skill level D. These types are labor jobs. Generally, skill type level D and C requires LMIA to apply for work visas. Now, under FSWP, any person wants to apply for Canada PR, first they have to check in the NOC list whether the job is available or not, and they have to find out the job code. Then only we can apply for the Canada PR. After the experience was cleared, now we will come to the educational assessment. How the education was assessed. Educational assessment will be done through World Education Services based in Canada and New York. So Canada people will declare that the foreign qualification is equivalent to Canadian qualification or not. Based on this, the points will be given, and this report will be valid for 5 years. So once the ECA is done, you can use this report for 5 years for any immigration purpose. This is a sample-based report I am showing you. Once you send the transcripts to World Education Services, those people will do the assessment of your education based on the university where you studied, based on the subject you studied, number of years you studied, credits, everything. So now this is an example. A person, Bachelor of Engineering, Anna University, and Mechanical Engineering, whether the university is recognized or not. They'll give this type of report like Canadian equivalency, bachelor degree of 4 years. So they have to declare this. Then only the points will be given on education as 22 points. Now with all these things, I will explain you one example, like a person of age 28 years. He completed a BTech and having 3 years of experience, and he had IELTS of 7 score, married with a graduate spouse. How to calculate the points? On age, because his age is 28 years, straight away 12 points. His BTech qualification is generally recognized by WES, so he will be directly getting 22 points. Experience 3 years, so 11 points. Language, he is having 7 score, it will come under CLB 9 and the points are 24. Arranged employment is not there because Canada employment is not there, 0 points. Adaptability is because his wife is a graduate, so 5 points will be given. So all over 74 points, where the required points are 67. So the result is he is qualified. Second example, a person of age 44, completed MTech, having 10 years of experience, with IELTS 6 score, married with a graduate and working spouse. How to calculate? Now, because of his age 44 years, he is getting the points on age only 3. And qualification, his master's, he is getting 23 points. Experience 10 years, getting 15 points. And but IELTS is low. He is going to CLB level 7. Only 16 points he is getting. Arranged employment is not there. Adaptability, his wife is graduate and working, 5 points. So total 62 points. So now the result is not qualified. So here in this case, the person has to improve his score to 67. Like he has to improve the IELTS score by getting an IELTS of 7, 7.5, and Also, his wife has to give IELTS and she should get 5.5, so that more 5 points will be added for adaptability and more 4 points will be added in IELTS. So overall 9 points will be added and he will get qualified. Now, even though after giving IELTS, after giving all the adaptability trials, not qualified, then what to do? Not to worry, the person can give again IELTS and also ask the spouse to give IELTS again. Try to get good scores so that the points will increase. Still not qualified, then you have an option to opt for work in Canada, and after going over there, after getting certain experience, you can apply for PR. Now, the permanent residency process. After completion of ECA and after completion of IELTS, everything is ready. Now, what to do? So, this is actually the process, PR process from India. So, the first one is we have to do the educational credential assessment ECA. That is, we have to do educational assessment. After that, IELTS has to be given. And with all these things, you can create an express entry profile and check whether you are getting the 67 points or not. If not getting 67 points, you have to try for IELTS again. And once you are qualified with 67 points, the application will be put in express entry pool. And after getting an invitation, once you are reaching express entry pool, the application will be in the pool till the job in demand will raise. Once the demanded list is raised, and that means whatever occupation you have chosen, that should be listed in the demanded jobs in Canada immigration, then they will pick the draw and you will get an invitation. Once invitation is received, the applicant has to do the process for visa, arrange all the documents, and they have to apply for visa. So wait till the visa process is going on. It may take 2 to 3 months. Then the visa will be granted. This is actually the step-by-step process of permanent residency. And now, generally we will go to the Canadian express entry process, because before this express entry profile, the person has to prepare for IELTS, give IELTS, do ECA burst evaluation and all. Nothing to be do properly. That is by IRCC. Once all the scores are ready, once the report is ready, the main process starts. That is Canadian express entry process will start. In this, the step one is we have to create the express entry pool. That is the express entry application. Once you fill the application, it is an online application. And once the application is done, submitted uploaded all the required documents. Once you submit the express entry profile, then the application will go into this express entry pool. In this express entry pool, the application will be kept in that pool until that job demand will raise. For that particular occupation, if demand is there, then IRCC will pick the draw, and if your application is selected based on the CRS score, the invitation will be released. Once you get an invitation, you have to apply for the permanent resident visa application. So now, what is exactly CRS? Everybody is talking about CRS. When you see the picking up the applications, draw happened. Now the draw is ended with 471. Now the draw ended with 450. With the CRS 470, CRS 460. What exactly CRS? This CRS will be calculated on 1200. That is, this point, the CRS score, whatever you are getting, will show you the rank of your application in the express pool. We can say alternatively that is a rank of your application in the express entry pool. These 1200 points will be assigned like this. Core human factors like primary applicant, age, education, English, Canadian work experience, everything, 500 points. Skill transferability factors like your English levels and that is your experience levels, all these 100 points. Additional point factors, that is provincial nomination or any job offer is there, or previously studied in Canada, any sibling is there in Canada, all these things, it is 600 points. Generally, this third point other people will not get. So out of 1200, we will be generally getting 400 plus points because these 600 will not be available. Generally, we won't be having. So if the CRS is low, if you find that the CRS is low than the previous draw, then you can improve the score while you are in pool by giving your IELTS score, so that once your IELTS score is more, again you can update the express entry profile, CRS will be more. Second option is find a job. See, if you find a job through job search, or if you know any person, if you find a job and any company is ready to take you, then you can get the offer letter, upload that offer letter in the express entry profile, immediately the CRS score will shoot up. Because arranged job, that is a job offer from a Canadian employer, will give straight away 80 to 100 points to the CRS score. So it will definitely shoot up and your application will be selected for ITA. So now, once the express entry pool, the CRS score cutoff is reached, suppose if the person is having a cutoff score of 470 and Canadian immigration also decided to put 470 as the cutoff, the application will be selected and invitation to apply will be released to that particular person. So in invitation, it will be clearly mentioned on which category, on which job you are inviting that person, you have to apply to visa in that category. So I'll explain, I'll show you an once you receive ITA, the person has to apply for visa. Whether you can accept the ITA or decline the ITA, you have 60 days time in your hand. But within 60 days, you have to take a decision, otherwise it will be cancelled, no extension will be given. Sample ITA, I can show you the invitation to apply sample. This is the invitation, and here the score will be mentioned, like what is the age, education points, that is CRS on age. Generally, we will get the 67 points. One person is asking the difference between 67 by 100 score and CRS score difference. That is 67 by 100 is the showing the eligibility to apply for PR, but CRS is a comprehensive ranking system. That is, once the application is entering into express entry pool, what is the rank of yours? So here age we are putting 12 points, but on CRS the points will be different. It is 100 or something. So they will put the CRS score on age, like that CRS on level of education. That is, that comprehensive ranking system on education is different points. 67 by 100 is only the eligibility criteria, not to declare that to give the ITA or not. This is to give the invitation. Once if they are inviting you to Canada, you should have a certain plus point over others. So the ranking will show you whether you are top of the others or not. So once your score is more, you will be invited. So on all these points, they will put the points and they will show you your overall points on this, and you are already selected to apply for the document. And this invitation will be valid for so and so days, generally 60 days, but in this ITA it is showing 90 days. And you have to decline this invitation or you can accept it. You can immediately send a reply to IRCC that you are accepting the invitation. Otherwise, after 60 days, it will automatically get cancelled. So you should accept it. Then you can proceed with the next process. So ITA received, that is, once invitation is received, what to do next? You have to submit the application for visa application to the visa session. That is, the once your documentation is done, you have to do a electronic application. You have to submit online visa application, and after that, the documents, all the documents has to be uploaded in the online system, because Canada visa system doesn't want any hard copies. All the documents are uploaded in a PDF format, and everything will be submitted directly to IRCC through online. And once the application is done, you cannot do any corrections. So once the visa application is submitted, you will be getting a date for the biometrics. The person has to go to the nearest VFS to give the biometrics. Once the biometrics is given, within 1 week to 10 days time, VFS will call you to submit the passports. So then you have to submit the passport, and visa decision will come within 45 to 60 days time. This is the sample visa copy of Canada PR. Here it is showing as IM1 category, that is immigration, and the type of person is going under immigrant. That it will be shown on that. If it is a student, in the place of immigrant, it will shown as student. If it is a worker, it will show as worker. So this is a PR, so it will show as a immigrant. So these are the step by step you have to do the process. First, you have to do the educational credential assessment, ECA, and once the application is subjected, the timeline is 30 to 45 days to get the report. It is an online application through WES, and this application will be done by us. Next one is, IELTS score, and this IELTS score is completely the client responsibility, and the client has to get the required score. And the timeline is, generally we are giving 1 to 2 months, because take the coaching, give the exam, and once you give the exam, 15 days will take to get the score. And express entry profile, this is only hardly 1 to 2 hours, and this is online application. We will do it. Automatically the points will be calculated. Next is express entry pool. Once the application is submitted, the application will be in the express entry pool, maybe for 1 or 2 months. Then you will be getting the invitation in 3 to 4 months time. So after submitting the application will go to the express entry pool in 2 months, and after 3 to 4, minimum it takes 3 to 4 months to get the invitation. And once the invitation is done, you have to submit the visa application with all the required documents, and this visa application will be done by us. And visa decision may take 2 to 3 months, generally 2 months, but approximately 3 months also sometimes. So this is the total timeline. To get the IELTS result, it is 15 days. I am not including the IELTS preparation time here. WES assessment, it is 30 to 45 days. Express entry profile, it is hardly 1 hour. And once the express entry profile is done, you have to upload all the documents. And I am giving this time as 2 months, because you have to prepare all the documents, take the experience documents from the organizations, and all these documents has to be uploaded in the express entry profile. After submitting that, to get the invitation, it takes 1 to 3 months based on the CRS score. And after that, to get the total ITA, to time taken for after ITA, 6 months I am telling you, because after ITA you have to prepare the documents, prepare the funds, and submit the visa documents, get the visa decision and all. So 10 to 12 months is the approximate timeline we are expecting to complete the complete PR process from the beginning to end. The expenses part, this is nominal expenses. Like for IELTS exam, each attempt will cost you 13,500 rupees, Indian rupees. So the client has to pay this 13,500 for each attempt if they are not getting the required score. WES process, it is 400 to 450 Canadian dollars. We can say it as 20,000 to 25,000 Indian rupees. Visa fees is 550 Canadian dollars per adult and 150 Canadian dollars per child. That is 30,000 rupees Indian currency and 9,900 rupees Indian currency for child. Medicals required only for adults, that is 2,000 rupees to 5,000 rupees. Police certificate has to be taken for each adult, both wife and husband, 500 rupees. And the funds to be shown at the time of visa, the primary applicant has to show 12,000 to 14,000 Canadian dollars, roughly 6 to 7 lakhs. And each dependent, 4,000 to 6,000 dollars, like 2 to 3 lakhs each. This fund statement, minimum 3 months statement is required, and more than 3 months is also good. This is the graph showing how many number of Indians are becoming Canadian PR holders since 2015. So we are expecting nearly 77,000 positive PRs by 2021. So that is in 2020 it is 75,000 and 77,000 in 2021. So more numbers are coming. So Indians are more numbers will be having Canadian PRs in India, Canadian government. Since 2015, there is a 200% rise in Indian PRs. As more number of people are getting invitations to work in Canada, to go and settle in Canada. The top 3 countries are generally India, China and Nigeria. But as of now, we are expecting more visas coming to India in future. So these are the predictions by 2021 that nearly 2,25,000 Indians could move to Canada. Maybe these are the Indians expecting to settle in Canada by 2021. So I am asking all of you that would you be the one of them? If you are interested to be one of them, it's very good option, and it is a correct time also to apply for Canada PR at present situations. So these are the documents needed. If you are really interested, be ready with all these documents listed here. And also, if anybody is interested, please contact Colonel Amardeep ji so that we can have a face-to-face interaction session also if you have any more doubts. These are the documents required for both primary applicant and spouse. All the documents directly issued by the university if they are having whatever degrees they have, bachelor's, master's. This is for the WES application. Next one is for express entry process. We need all these documents for both primary applicant and spouse. That is both the IELTS scorecards, passport copies, WES reports, both the CVs and experience letters from all the organizations they worked. Both of them has to submit all these documents. For visa, these are the documents the primary applicant has to apply. Passport copy, IELTS score copy, whatever the express entry application documents, all are needed. Additionally, we have to add ITA, which is received, minimum 3 months statement with the required funds, 2 to 3 years of IT returns. Generally, it is not mandatory. Benefit, it is advisable. CA statement and marriage certificate and police clearance certificate for the primary applicant. Spouse also, all the documents like this, but because funds are shown by primary applicant, spouse no need to show any financial documents, only these documents. And for kids, only passport and birth certificate. All these documents are necessary at the time of visa. Now, there's a time for questions. You can come with all your questions now.
What is the difference between the score 67 out of 100 and the CRS?
Yeah, that's what I explained you. That is 67 by 100 is the eligibility criteria, whether you have to check whether you are eligible to apply or not. But CRS is completely different. That is, once you enter into express entry pool, you will be given a rank and the file will be there. And if the score reaches, if the draw reaches that point, your application will be selected.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Dinesh, ma'am. If somebody has a less score, like less than 67, what are the chances of their success to get an PR?
See, 67 points is mandatory to apply. So
Okay.
if the person is getting less than 67,
okay,
no need to initiate the process. We cannot initiate the process. So what they have to do is, they have to increase the points to bring the points to 67, and
okay.
they have to check where the points are coming less. Suppose if they are getting less IELTS, they have to give more IELTS and get score, or else they can ask spouse to give IELTS and get more score. Like this, they have to try to get the point 67 mandatory. Then only express entry profile can be created.
Okay.
But CRS, you can do that. Suppose once you enter into express entry pool, the CRS score will be allotted to you, and that CRS can be upgraded by giving IELTS again, or else by searching a job, or any person over there, you can get a sponsorship letter from them. If any sibling is there, you can say that Canadian sibling is there. So you can get more points. So you have to add more points to that. Then only the score can be increased.
No, like if I'll get a job offer from one of the employer in Toronto, like can I get more point on?
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. Once you get into express entry pool, if you have a job offer offered by a Canadian employer, you can upload the job offer letter into the express entry pool, and based on the skill level of the job offer, that is whether the job offer is given under skill level A, skill level B, or skill level O, you will be getting points. Minimum points are 50 and maximum is 80. O level will get 80 points directly.
Whether we have to upload that is approved Lima, or that's just offer letter is sufficient?
Offer letter is enough, sir. Offer letter, official offer letter from the Canadian employer.
Okay.
So the offer letter has to directly come to the come from Canadian employer, and it should be in a total proper format. Generally, one page is not sufficient. There will the offer letter will be minimum 5 to 6 pages with all the terms and conditions. Everything will be mentioned with the employer signature, and your signature should be there that you are accepting the offer. That offer letter has to be uploaded in the express entry profile so that the CRS will shoot up.
In that case, LMIA approval is required. No? The simple offer letter will not do, as per the best of my knowledge.
What, sir? I did not get you.
I think the question which Dinesh has asked, the offer letter will work, or it has to be approved by the LMIA.
See, there are certain LMIA is not needed for all jobs, sir. One thing is, what I can explain you is, LMIA is needed only for certain level of jobs. As I told you, when we saw the NOC skilled levels O, A, B, C, D, in the generally C level and D level jobs requires LMIA. A level, B level, O level jobs generally doesn't require LMIA. We can directly apply for express entry, and directly we can go with the CRS. But some jobs require LMIA.
No, ma'am, like I have been counting my Sierra score. It is 343, and I got a job offer from Toronto. So what would be my score?
See, 1343 means what is the job level and all we have to check.
It is the B level NOC code 6221.
Okay, B level means once you submit it, you may get up to 62, 80 points will be added, and 340 means you may go up to, you are having 340, huh?
Yeah, 343.
343, you may
that
go up
will
to
come
hardly
to 420, maximum 420.
Hardly 420 or 430, not more than that.
Okay.
So what do you have to do is, sir, what is your IELTS score?
Yeah, I got a 8777.
8777. Age?
Yeah. Age is 39.
Oh, good. Still you are getting 343.
Yeah, because I have gone through diploma in pharmacy. I have gone through the West But they have given me that is my diploma is 2-year equivalency as per the Canadian education.
Oh, in qualification wise, you got less points.
Yeah,
And if your spouse is an educated person and if she is ready to give IELTS, you can.
Ma'am, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all the participants, sorry to interrupt you. My only request to each one is that this may not be the right forum to ask too many detailed questions. In case you have specific questions, what we do is, ma'am is yet to explain our charges. We have processing charges and other things. But my request is that you book a one-on-one session with Mrs. Subbalakshmi.
Okay.
The charges are 5,000 rupees. Please hear me out. In that, we will create your profile. You have a 45-minute one-on-one session. We'll evaluate and keep your profile ready. Generate your score, and these 5,000 rupees get adjusted towards the overall charges that we will be charging for the PR process if you wish to apply through us for PR. That is one. But that will give you absolute clarity as far as where do you stand. And otherwise, we'll be all running helter-skelter, and we are not sure whether I made the grade or not. The risk involved is, yes, 5,000 rupees. We have to bear so many expenses. So that is what my recommendation is. That what we are doing is, say, the entire PR process, our charges are, say, 1,50,000. We offer 25,000 rupees for people who don't need IELTS. People who got IELTS, who need IELTS, this thing, we will train one of the person on IELTS free of cost, so that 25,000 is gets taken care of. And out of that, if you want to book a one-on-one session, please note down my number, 799 356 350. I'll say again, 799 356 350. I will get in touch with you. We will organize a proper counseling for you. We will have your documents evaluated, and we will create your profile and give your approximate score to you, so that you don't waste time and energy and money elsewhere. That is what I wanted to say. You can go ahead with your questions. Thank you. Ma'am, you can take the questions in case there are some.
Yeah. I'm here only. If anybody is asking, anyone are having any questions, come to me. That is actually the questions means whatever the session was done. If you have any doubts or if you did not understand any topic, you can come with me. Or if it is regarding the process, and if you want to start the process and what to do, these sessions can be given in one-on-one session.
And one general question, are you dealing in business or like entrepreneur visa?
Sir, practically saying no, because business and entrepreneurship visas are very, it's a different process, and we can't do that. Because the lawyers, those who are dealing there are only dealing with PR and job visas, not entrepreneurship visas. Certain things has to be clarified over there, but we are trying to get it, to get the sponsorships and all. If we are succeeded in that, we may start it. Business and entrepreneur visas also, we may start by end of this year.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, is the RIMP process different than this?
Yes, madam. RIMP process means once your CRS is done, it's like AMP or PMP only. Based on the CRS and based on your skill level jobs, you can choose the process. Once the express, there is another application we have